this is Joanne from Colorado. Out here watching my hummingbirds. And I used to wonder where all these hummingbirds spend the night when I have so many in my yard in the daytime. Because I don't believe they nest in my yard. I have a lot of food sources. And I do have these trees. I have 3 crabapple trees in the backyard. And all my neighbors have all these trees. Anyways, when I'm watching my flower garden and I'm watching the hummingbirds come in and come over to the flowers, they come over this fence and they fly in from up there in this tree. Some of them fly in from that way. There's a bunch more trees and a fence and a shed. And on the other side of my shed is a great big old pine tree. And a lot of them go there. And out in the front yard, there's neighbors with 50-foot pine trees in 3 directions. I have a short pine tree. This neighbor has beehives right there under that tarp. Right between the sheds and my backyard. And lots of bees come over that way. So when I'm sitting here watching them come in, or when I step up in my front yard and I see hummingbirds come zipping over to the flowers, they eat, and they either perch in the tree and watch the flowers in the flower garden, or the females that are nesting go zipping back across the street to one of these really tall, really thick trees. And I'm sure that they have a nest there, and they come here often to eat. And as soon as they get filled up enough for a few minutes, they go zipping back to their nest. They sit there a little bit. And thankfully it's a hot enough day that I'm sure their nest is kept warm and their eggs don't get cold. They do guard them, and they are on them most of the time. I just had to refill my feeders today, and they were getting really low. Anyways, unlike Robbie down there in California, where she has, I don't know, 50 or so feeders and gets to fill them daily, I don't feed them that often, or don't fill them that often, but I do have four feeders, and I usually use 4 cups, 4.5 cups of nectar at a time. And I have to change whatever's left out in about 3 days, 4 days max if it's been kind of cooler. Otherwise, they start tasting or smelling just a little bit off. And you don't want that, because then they'll stop coming and they'll go somewhere else. So, I do mix like 1 cup of boiling water with 1 cup of sugar, and then I add 3 more cups of cold water to it after it's all stirred up and really well dissolved, so that there aren't any grains left of sugar. And that I divvy up with the 4 feeders, and I scrub them really good with a brush and just hot water, and fill them up and hang them up back out there. And it's funny because in the top of the feeders, you can see this little cup that they put up on top of it. And they put that up there so that it keeps ants and stuff from crawling down the sides of it and getting into the feeder. So you can fill that with water. And I noticed that we have a black-chinned male hummingbird that likes to take baths in the water on the top of those feeders. Don't know where he learned that, but he likes that, and he keeps looking for water in them, so I put water in them. I've never needed to, but for that hummingbird, I do it. So anyways, keeps them happy, and boy, I can tell they like it when it's fresh, and they just sit and eat and eat and eat. So anyways, I wish I got to see them all sleeping in the trees the way they do. I saw them once where they lock their little legs up and hang upside down, and they look like they're dead, and slows their heartbeat way, 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 way down at night, so you don't have to eat all night. And then when they started waking up, they just twitch a few times. You could see their little heart just start pumping a whole lot faster. Next thing I knew, hummingbird was popped back upright, went right back to eating, and flew off. So anyways, that was fun to see. So I just thought I'd share a little information on hummingbirds. And at the moment, I don't know where they all went. There was about 7 here a few minutes ago, but I don't know. Usually they don't mind me talking out here, but maybe they thought they would go visit the flowers in the front yard. And these bees, we seem to have an onslaught of bumblebees in our yard. And I know they nest in the ground, in the lawn. Hopefully not in mine anywhere, because I do like to walk around in bare feet. But wherever they come from, there is a lot of them. And I do notice every now and then the hummingbirds will chase them away. Every now and then the bees will try to chase the hummingbirds away. Usually the hummingbirds win, but every now and then they'll back off and go to a flower a few feet away. But anyway, there's just a little information on the hummingbirds that I watch, and wherever they sleep, I'm glad they hang out with me in the daytime, because it's a lot of fun to see them when I'm awake. And when I'm asleep, I wouldn't really see very many of them anyway, so anyway, I'll keep trying to get pictures of the different varieties, and especially the males with all those flashing colors. And until then, have a great day. Thanks for watching. And one of these days, on my channel Birds and Bird Baths, I am going to be brave and try to videotape me making one of these bird baths that all the birds really, really like. It's the one bird bath that has lasted and runs all winter. It is simply a cement shell, less than, probably between a ½ inch and an inch thick, and about 2.5 to 3 feet tall. I could make it look like any kind of log or post, or get fancier with them. I make them out of mortar with a couple layers of wire underneath, and I can make them in less than a half an hour usually. And then any painting or dyeing I do later. And then I just run a water line up through the center of it. And then whatever the reservoir is, whether it's down in the bottom of a bucket, or if it's in underground, you can just set it on a shell and put the bucket underground and let the water run back down there. It can look real natural. And put a little water heater in the reservoir in the winter, and it'll just keep right on going. And doesn't freeze up usually unless it gets, I don't know, 20 below, maybe 10 below. Sometimes it'll freeze on top. I just get a gallon milk jug filled with hot water and come pour it on top of it, thaw it out, and it just keeps going. And the birds, especially in the winter, flock to it. But I have 3 of those in my yard, and all kinds of birds take bird baths in those all day long. So anyways, just thought I'd add that just in case you ever look for a way to make some of those bird baths. Anybody can do it. I am 61, out of shape, and anyways, I just like doing stuff. It doesn't matter. Nobody ever told me I couldn't, so I just build whatever I want to. And if at first I don't succeed, I try again. So I would be happy to show anybody how to do any of those things. So you have a great day. I appreciate having people interested and enjoying seeing the hummingbirds and the flowers, the things that I like to do. And have a great day. Subscribe if you want me to make some more content for you, and feel free to ask any questions or tell me if there's something you'd like me to attempt to do online. Anyways, have a great day. Thanks. Bye.